Krishna, Jai Jagannath. Today, let us hear the beautiful pastime of Lord Jagannath and his dear devotee Arjun Mishra. Arjun Mishra was a panda in Puri, and pandas are those who are engaged in the service of Lord Jagannath in the Puri temple. And this devotee of Jagannath was very special. He was attached to reading Bhagavad Gita. He used to recite the whole of Bhagavad Gita every single day without fail. And that is why he was called as Gita Panda, because he was very much fond of reading Bhagavad Gita. And he was a very surrendered soul. No matter what circumstances came in his life, he never complained. He just tolerated and always was dependent on the mercy of the Lord. And he was a very poor person, so he used to get food for himself and to his family by begging, by doing madhukari, and by begging he used to get food for his family. So once so happened that there was a heavy rainfall in Jagannath Puri for about a week, and because of that heavy rainfall he could not go out for begging. So in this way he and his family were hungry and they didn't have food to eat for days together. In fact, Arjun Mishra was happy that there was a heavy rainfall because he could not go outside, and he used to get the entire day to sit at home and just recite the Bhagavad Gita. And he was undisturbed by circumstances. But Arjun Mishra's wife became angry as there was no food and everybody were hungry and starving. She came and complained to Arjun Mishra, to her husband, that you are not going out for begging food, you are just sitting whole day and chanting the Bhagavad Gita. So in this way she was upset and unhappy and she was angry at her husband. But Arjun Mishra was undisturbed. He pulled out the Bhagavad Gita and he showed one of the verse from the Bhagavad Gita, and that verse was from chapter 9 verse 22. The verse goes as follows. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamiham. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, but those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. After listening to her husband, she became even more angry and she waited for days thinking that her husband will get her some food some or the other day. But he always kept saying that depend on the Lord, Lord will maintain us. Now the wife became even more angry. She took out the Bhagavad Gita, she pulled out the verse from the Bhagavad Gita from which he quoted, and she scratched the verse with 3 horizontal lines. And then later she and her children went off to sleep. And after some time even Gita Panda slept. Sometime later she heard a knock on the door. And when she opened the door, she saw 2 beautiful boys. And their beauty was mesmerizing. One was in the dark complexion and the other was milky white in complexion. Then this dark complexioned boy told to the Brahmini, that is this wife of Arjun Mishra, he said, please take this foodstuff which has been sent by the friend of Arjun Mishra. Please cook and eat to your heart's satisfaction. When she heard the voice of this boy, her heart filled with tremendous joy. She then requested these 2 beautiful boys to stay back until she prepared the food and to have prasadam with them. To this the boys replied, we do desire to have prasadam with you and your husband, but my tongue has been cut and I cannot eat anything. After saying this, the boys leave the house. The wife now rushed to her husband and she informed whatever happened. Now Gita Panda went to the storehouse and he saw that the storehouse was filled with all sorts of food ingredients, which was more than enough. Gita Panda then asks his wife if she fed those 2 boys. To this the wife replies that she asked them to stay back until she prepared the food, but one of the boy replied that he had 3 cuts on his tongue, because of that he could not eat anything. So when Gita Panda heard this, he immediately understood that it was the Lord himself. It was Krishna Balaram, it was Lord Jagannath and Lord Baladev themselves. Gita Panda immediately understood that because the wife scratched one of the verses in the Bhagavad Gita, and because this Bhagavad Gita has emanated from the lotus lips of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, the scratch was reflected onto the lips of the Lord. The wife then realizes that Lord Jagannath himself, in order to keep up with the promise that he had made in the Bhagavad Gita, he came to give them food. After that, both the husband and wife, they rushed to the Jagannath Puri temple in order to beg for forgiveness and to thank the Lord for his kindness. When they reached the temple and saw the beautiful deity of Lord Jagannath, they were astonished to see there were 3 spots on the lips of Lord Jagannath deity. And very important lesson from this pastime of Lord Jagannath with his dear devotee is that the importance of Bhagavad Gita. This Bhagavad Gita is not an ordinary book. This is Krishna himself. So this song has emanated from the lotus lips of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So when the wife scratched one of the verse from the Bhagavad Gita, it was reflected onto the lips of Lord Sri Krishna. So there is one verse in Gita Mahatmya which shows the glories and importance of Bhagavad Gita. Let me read out that for you. Gita dhyayana shilasya pranayama parasya cha naiva santi hi papani pura janma kritani cha. The translation. If one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely with all seriousness, then by the grace of the Lord, the reactions of his past misdeeds will not act upon him. I hope you all enjoyed this beautiful pastime of Lord Jagannath with his dear devotee Gita Panda. Hare Krishna.